Hello, everyone. This is Nurse B with Buzzing with the Bee. Today, I want to buzz with you about something that happened to me about 4.5 years ago. It was a life-altering event. My husband died. Prior to my husband's death, he had had cancer. And when he was diagnosed with cancer, I promised him that I would walk beside him and work his case to the best of my abilities, and I would do whatever he wanted me to do until he didn't want me to do it or he was cured. What that meant was that while my husband was having cancer, I was in a limbo, and the whole family was in limbo to a certain extent. I could make no plans for the future because we were just stuck at this spot for however long period we were going to be there. When I would go to see my doctor would try to tell me that my husband would probably not make it. And I was aware that his possibility of living 2-3 years was not very good, okay? But he did live 3 years. And during that time, I researched and found him all kind of help for whatever side effects he had with his chemo. So when he died, I was in a deep, dark place. And I couldn't get out of it. And I felt like I was just going downhill. I would try to talk to people, and people would say things like, "Oh, your husband is an angel. Your husband is not going, he's walking beside you." My husband wasn't walking beside me. He was gone. I couldn't even see him. I couldn't talk. I couldn't touch. I mean, he was gone, okay? And that didn't help me at all. It did not help me at all. I had read things like, don't quit your job. Continue to do the things that you're doing for at least a year. And that the first year was going to be hard, and it was. So after about a year, I did not think that I was effective at my job. So I quit. But when I quit, I had more time to think about things, and I didn't have anything to fill my time because, one, I didn't have a husband. Two, my children were grown and they were moving. The first time I really realized that I was widowed was with my son and his wife. And we were getting in the car, and I got in the back seat to sit with the baby. And at that point, I realized that I'm always going to be in the back seat. I'm not first in anybody's life anymore. My husband, we always had each other. So I had him, he had me. But I have nobody. And I began to cry, and my son was like, "What's going on, Mom? What's going on?" I said, "Nothing. It's just about me. I'm okay. Just I'll be all right." Okay. So the next day they got some news that they really loved. And for me, it wasn't good because it meant that they were moving. And they were so excited and so happy. And I was like, down. And I didn't want to rain on their parade, but I knew I was going to start raining soon. So I decided that I would go home. And it was late in the evening. It was dark when I decided that I was going to have to go home, and it was more than a 3-hour drive. And they tried to talk me out of it, but I said, "No, I need to go home. Just call me. I'll call you when I get home, and everything will be okay." But that was the first time I really realized that I was by myself. Then my daughter got married, and they moved. My son moved, and I had one son left in the house, but I think he was in the same shape I was in, so we wasn't a lot of help to each other. So I just worked for about a year after that, and I just found that I couldn't do that anymore either. So I decided to retire, and I did. But it was just awful. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who I was, what was going on. I was just sitting here in this empty house. And I would go visit my daughter, my sisters, and I was okay while I was there. But as soon as I came back in the house, I was empty again. Meanwhile, I had connected with some of my old high school friends on Facebook, and one of those persons was Danny Woods, who was a life coach. Danny told me that he was a life coach and he had a business called Perfect the Gift, and that he could hear the pain in my posts and he wanted to help me. I could not help myself. The Lord sent someone to help me. He asked me would I consider talking to him, and shared some things that led me to think that maybe he could help me. And he did. And at that time, like I said, I didn't even know who or what I was anymore. I was a person, but I felt I didn't have anything. Even my profession, I quit, so I didn't have anything there either. During this time period with Danny Woods, I figured out that I needed to reinvent myself for this season of my life. My marriage was over. My children didn't necessarily need me anymore. So now I had to find some things for myself to find out where I was going, because I had no clue of what I was or what I wanted to do at that point. So that is how I ended up with Buzzing with the Bee, because during this 2-year coaching session, I began to feel better about myself. I began to fill my life up with things. I took another job, but I didn't really want to do that. I didn't want to be bound to 9 to 5 days a week. So I just took a chance on starting Buzzing with the Bee. And I am so happy that I did that, because even without work, a 9 to 5 job, I'm still busy. I mean, I'm so busy doing what I need to do to get Buzzing with the Bee operational. And I have to say this, my life is full now. No more crying, no more feeling sad, no more feeling empty. And I'm going to attribute that to my life coach, Danny Woods. I gained more out of this than I would ever have thought I could do. I'm now about Beverly. I'm now about Nurse B. I've moved on with my life. So now I'm in another season of my life where my focus is on me for the first time, okay? And I love it. And it's just made a big difference in my life. So, if you find yourself needing some help, look into finding yourself a life coach. I can recommend my life coach, Danny Woods, with Perfect the Gift. As always, I want to thank you for buzzing with me, Nurse B, another episode of Buzzing with the Bee. If you have found this video to be helpful, or you know someone who is experiencing the same things that I experienced, please share this video with them. You can share it by pressing the little button in the corner. There's a little floating button that says like, share, and subscribe. Also, you can make some comments and I will return your comments. And if you want to see some more of my vlogs, you can go to nurse-b.com. Thank you.